is terrific. So
I have been really aware this week as well. I've noticed a substantial increase in my awareness.
it's great. We really moved some energy. I'm so glad to hear that. And as well as you're doing the Reiki yourself, you're an energy healer. And so now that you are able to move some of the emotional energy, we have the emotional body. I'm being reminded to tell people the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body, the etheric body. We have all these different parts to us. And so everything is energy. Even our emotions are energy. So they don't tend to be good or bad. In the spirit world, they have different vibrations, and some vibrations are higher or lower than others. So we begin to move out the lower vibrational energies, and this allows more of the higher vibrational energies to come in, and then we're able to express ourselves from that. So that's great. So tell me, Dana, about some of the creative ideas that came through. Maybe we'll work on that a little bit today. Tell me more about that so we can really tune into what's creative and true for you.
Well, it's something that I've thought of doing before, but never really did anything about.
Okay.
But as this came up again, it's a course that I'm taking. It's called A Course in Miracles.
Mm-hmm. Good course.
And I've often thought I would love to be a facilitator for that. I would love to spread that knowledge. And I've decided I'm going to do it. And an opportunity kind of just fell in my lap. And I was getting ready to get the class together yesterday, and the first characteristic the Manual for Teachers talks about is trust. And so everything just seems to be synchronizing. But that's something that I've always wanted to do. So that's one idea. And I'm going to be facilitating at a place where I do my Reiki. But I've got these other ideas of having it available at other places, that maybe I could just become a facilitator everywhere to do this. Or that's just one example. I've had these other ideas come up too. To have like a metaphysical shop open up,
Mm-hmm.
that incorporates different events and workshops and selling wares like books and crystals and just all these great ideas that I would be very passionate to do every day of my life.
Wow.
Instead of what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So you're
It
writing
feels
these
great.
ideas down, right?
What's that? I'm
You're
sorry.
writing these ideas down, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is terrific. I just shared with my inner circle on Facebook. I think I'd like to invite you to be part of that, Dana. I took notes about over a year ago, August 2010. I was with Dean, and oftentimes we're talking, on a day off, and I'd been coaching a lot, almost nonstop, and working my full-time job, which left me very little time to have the space to receive the ideas and inspirations from the universe, you see. But I knew in August of last year, a year ago last August, that I was going to stop, pause, take a break, and just spend a little bit of time listening to what my next directive is how I feel it is now. And when I did that, and I almost always have a notebook with me and I would highly suggest that to anybody that's listening today, and to you, Dana. Sometimes I've had to grab paper towels or anything nearby, because when the information starts to flow, it just does. So it's good to have pen and paper handy. But I literally heard, okay, you're going to write a workbook. So I wrote down workbook. I ended up changing the name of it, but the idea that I had for the workbook, I absolutely knew what it was. So I wrote that down. Then I wrote down oracle cards. I said that, again, I called them Inner Visions Manifestation Oracle Cards. As you can see, I ended up creating them. A couple other things, a CD, which I'm going to be creating too, but the idea was just get the ideas on paper, you see, and don't think it's impossible or too difficult, because if it's an idea that you have that you feel that passionate about, it's a good indication that you're here to bring it forth into the world. And it's like I say to people, when you order a pizza, you don't sit and wonder how it's going to get delivered, right? You just have trust, and there it is. So So let me tune in a little more for you, Dana, about this. I want to get a little deeper. I definitely recommend writing all everything you got. Get it on paper, okay? Facilitating everywhere, the metaphysical store. And let me just tune in for a minute and see what I can get and see what other information I can get, for today about this. Okay, well, they're reminding me that, I know a certain amount about the Course in Miracles. One of my favorite saying is, nothing real is ever threatened. It's the teachings of Jesus. It's about unconditional love, which we talked about at the end of your session last week, correct?
Yeah.
Now, but tell me, in your words, what is the greatest message that you've received from your Course in Miracles study? If you could just say, like, one thing that you love about it, what would that message be?
It is unconditional love for the self. Once you have this, you're able to love everyone else and every other thing unconditionally. This brings great healing to the whole planet and world peace, I hope.
Okay, yes, so your main focus is the unconditional love of self, which has been misinterpreted for many generations, I believe, as being selfish, correct?
That's true. It does teach about that, yep.
Yeah, okay. So, let me just see what else I get on this. And I like the word facilitator. The way you're talking about it, facilitator, comes through as like an assistant, like the energy is coming through you, like the divine energy in your Reiki. When you facilitate these workshops, you're allowing the higher energy or the messages of Jesus to be your guide and come through and speak. I'm getting more like you're going to be speaking. I feel like you're going to be doing some channeling. I'm getting in writing and in speaking, you're going to be, and I can help you with this. I teach people how to channel. And maybe we can go over this in a little bit, but I feel like it's not like you're just going to have that textbook and just stand in front of the class and say, these are the teachings of the Course in Miracles. I feel like you're really going to be a real big messenger. You're already doing angel messages, correct?
I do. Yep.
Okay, so you're going to be able to use that ability to channel information during your workshops. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, okay, let me see what else I get.
It would be something I would really love to help other people with and bring healing around everyone.
Yeah. Dana, it's beautiful, really. I feel your connection. They're being told by the Masters of Light that you, in service, are perfect for this. It takes a certain amount of humility and surrender, you understand, to be able to, and you're right at that point.
I experienced it during my Reiki healings. I've just let them take over. I'm just a channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more powerful when you surrender.
Yes.
Or when I surrender, I should say, yeah.
And so now you have this ability as a Reiki facilitator, and they're telling me to remind you or to encourage you or to give you conscious direction that you are going to be a conscious channel as you facilitate these workshops, and also to know that you're already consciously channeling your ideas and inspirations. So when you get them on paper, they're saying don't worry so much about the how-to or how do I do this. Allow that information to come through and channel the information. So if you have a question like how do I do this or what's my next step, you're going to get in a practice of what I call meditation and then creative expression. You understand?
Yes.
It's exactly how I work and how I've been working for 5 years. It's like, first one I heard was write a book. I'm like, write a book? I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Okay, pen and paper, and you guys tell me what to write. I'm writing. It was like the easiest thing I did because I got terrible grades in English. My English teacher would fall over if she knew I'd written several books and published oracle cards. You see? But I'm channeling information from a higher source, so
yep.
It's a totally different experience. And let me see what else I can get for you. And so, let me just pull a couple cards.
Last night I pulled Inspired.
Inspired, yes. Wow, Dana.
Yeah.
Dana has a deck of my cards. Do you know the story behind that Inspired? I don't. I don't know if it's in my book, which I'll have to get to you for being a wonderful client on the air with me. What happened with that painting was that I really wanted to sign up and take classes, art classes, painting classes. I'd been painting for about 10 years, and my children were very little, and I was staying home, and I found out that the painting classes that I wanted to take were at a time when I would not be able to take them. So I was really disappointed about that because I thought I needed a painting class to be an official painter, you see? But then that night, I brought all my paints out onto my deck, like I had been painting for 10 years with no instruction, as self-taught, and I, just started painting, and then 4 hours later, this painting came through, and it really reminded me of Monet, and I thought, a painting class would be nice, but I don't think I need it. It was just this real recognition that I really did have everything that I needed within me. And then if I had a class to take and could do it, that would be fine. But that was like the biggest connection I ever had to what I really needed was within me, and I would be taken care of regardless if I could get to a class in it or not, you see?
What a great feeling that is.
Yep. And that's exactly what I get for you with that, to pull Inspired. And it's like what you were talking about to begin with, break free. The message is, I'll read the message for everyone. You can see this is the painting. I painted this when I never had a painting class before. It's kind of water lilies. I was pretty happy with it. And it says, you've chosen this card as a reminder that all you need is within you. The title of this painting is Inspired because to be inspired means to be in spirit. This comes from within, not the outside. You can connect with this truth. It is also a reminder to maintain your own emotional boundaries and to not take on other people's energy. Stay within your own emotional self. The more you connect with your own emotions and inner being, honor yourself and your feelings, the more stable and confident you will feel. So it says break free and feel confidence from within. So that is a perfect message for you, Dana, from moving from some freedom in your root or foundation center to being freed up enough to be able to receive those divine ideas and inspirations, to get them on paper. And then the next step will be for you to be quiet and then ask about the timing or ask what's the next step. You see, to really allow yourself to be perfectly guided with this. You see?
Yeah.
Has anything else come up for you in terms of the next step with this? Because we got a couple more minutes. I can tune in for something, but you were really rolling, and I'm just so happy and
Me too.
blessed working with you.
Well, I did learn in my angel certification class to ask and listen. You ask the questions and you get the answers. So I have been asking, and I feel like doors are opening. But like you said, I do need to practice listening and paying more attention, and just knowing that I have this knowledge within me and becoming aware to it feels very powerful. And a little bit scary, but in a good way.
Exactly. Now, are you interested in doing any writing? Because writing's coming. Would you like to be writing articles or self-help articles on loving yourself?